And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
But if you heard last hour's radio, we talked with Fred Liguri from General Motors. He's Chevrolet EV's communications director. And he talked about the new Bolt with 238 miles. So I'm not sure that I was always a proponent of EV cars. But as you think about it, I know that my first real connection was in 97 when the Prius came out. And I said, well, what if every car, and so I looked fast forward, I said, well, okay, this is going to have new batteries at 100,000 miles or 130,000 miles at that time. That's what I thought and what everybody thought. Well, that's not the case at all. And an example is Fabio. If you heard, Fabio just replaced, our producer, replaced the batteries in his 04 Prius at 200,000 miles. So when you look at the battery replacement, which was less than $3,000, what my thought was back in 97 was that, hey, if every used car, let's just say that every used car was an electric car, and you had to replace the motor, the drive unit, the battery, at 100,000 miles, that means you got to spend $3,000 to $5,000. So all the cars that need a motor at 100,000 miles at $3,000 to $5,000, that'd be ridiculous because cars are going 200,000 miles on internal combustion engines and more right now. I mean, you call me and say my car's not running well. What's wrong with it? And, how many miles? Oh, it's got 150,000 miles and never been in the shop. Really? That's a common question that I get. So when you think about that, and I was correlating and comparing all of that information to what I thought electric vehicles would bring about, that was in 97 or in the year 2000 roughly, that fast forward to today, and that's not the case at all. Electric vehicles require very little maintenance. In fact, the only repairs that come to my mind that we've had on some Prius are water pumps for the internal combustion engine, thermostat. The thermostat's very difficult to get to. It's buried, and so if you replace the thermostat on a Prius, you're automatically, at least if you're a long-term shop owner and you know the business, you're automatically going to replace the water pump because you're right there. It's like open heart surgery to get to it. You're not going to put a thermostat in that car without replacing a water pump, or vice versa. You just don't do that. But having said that, even today, if you have a water pump, you're going to replace the thermostat. And it's our policy, whenever we put a water pump on a car, that the owner has already put a thermostat, because that's what most people do as a rule when a car runs hot. Oh, I'll put a new thermostat in it, and so then it still runs hot. Well, that thermostat gets bruised. So when we replace a water pump and or a radiator to solve an overheating problem for our customers, we're going to put a new thermostat. And when we do, we're going to put a superstat thermostat, which is a Stant, which is the best thermostat I know that you can buy. And it's made by Stant. It's called a Superstat, and it's a thermostat that I've used for more than 10 years in my 46-year car clinic service, automotive repair system, and business. So if you have to have a water pump repaired, even if you've had a thermostat repaired, put a new Superstat thermostat in that vehicle and be done with it. When I come back, you're called at 888 Car Clinic. Don't touch that dial.